Hi, I'm David Johnston. This is my video interview portion of the Dendros Inclusion Consultants application. What is your experience with living with a disability? Um, my mental health has been my biggest struggle due to cognitive distortions formed by my childhood. Um, I've had to deal with some negative thoughts, self-negative talks, like automatic negative thoughts. I believe ants is what they're called. But, feelings of hopelessness and despair and just wanting to belong and fit in um, led me to make some choices that were a part of my learning path. And it hasn't always been easy. Life is a struggle, but it's worth it. God showed me love in the form of other people who have shown me how to love myself and given me the tools to deal with these cognitive distortions and look at things from the proper point of view. What experience do you have advocating for yourself or others? Well, basically, whenever I see something that's an injustice or is just wrong or ethically questionable, I stand up, I speak up, and I hope to have a diplomatic solution or, arise from the situation. I don't try to run in guns blazing and just say, you're wrong, you need to do this. I try to see things from everyone's point of view. What skills or other qualifications do you bring to this project? I'm an analytical thinker. I'm intelligent. I have patience. I have sympathy. And I'd say I have a loving heart. And I think love is the answer to a lot of problems in this world and always will be. What experience do you have working and planning in groups? Well, basically, anytime you join a company, for the most part, you're working in a group. I don't know if you define a group as 2 or more people or 3 or more people, but whenever you join a company, you're part of a team, and part of being a part of that team means knowing your role in that team. And I always strive my best to gain a complete understanding of what's expected of me and what my function is and why. I like to have a well-rounded understanding, covering from all aspects. Like I said, analytical thinker. And I've held down many jobs. Some I've enjoyed more than others. But I guess I enjoyed most being in the manager role position. I worked at a drywall company, and I worked at a staffing company as a senior recruiter and general manager of the drywall company. And just being able to teach others and meet them where they're at and work with them and collaborate with them. It's amazing what a group of people can do, because no humans are dependent upon each other in order to progress, and whether we like it or not, our neighbors affect us as much as we affect our neighbors. So we all have a role to play, and we all have a job to play, and we all have to work together, whether we like it or not. What advice do you give someone? When have you been a leader, and what did you do? Oh, well, I already talked about that a little bit. I was a senior recruiter at a staffing firm, and I had to get my numbers, get my hires, get my quotas met, and also work with others to help them get their job done. So I had to make sure I got my work done first, but also part of my work was working with my teammates to help make sure that they were completing their job as well. So kind of, and then my boss, was my role model and teacher. So I looked up to him and learned from him what I could, and soaked it up like a sponge. What advice would you give a system professional or elected official trying to improve the quality of life of people with disabilities across Minnesota? I would say think outside the box. Listen with an intent to understand, not to control or judge. I know it's hard to overcome predispositions and biases, but if you truly want to understand someone, you got to see things from their point of view. You got to live in their shoes. And sometimes you don't really know what that's like until you experience something yourself that's either similar or parallel. But maybe there'll be some virtual reality experience someday where you can live in someone else's shoes and really understand what it's like for them. But until you're living in their brain and seeing things from their point of view, like it's just not the same. You can only imagine. What else should people know about you? I'm a good person. I'm a champion. And I'm going to make a difference in this world. As I believe we all are. And I would say also, the future is bright, but it's also dark. It just depends on where you're standing, looking at the past or looking ahead towards the future. But either way, it's all about your point of view.